10.1 has been announced, and Survival Hunter got its first real talent changes since the launch of Dragonflight, so I thought I'd briefly talk about them. Basically, everybody knows Survival Hunter, the talent tree, it's a mess, it's full of issues. So far, there's not many new changes going into 10.1 for Survival, but, well, there's two, and these are positive changes. And honestly, we take what we can get, so this is a step in the right direction for sure for the spec. The first change, we got Ruthless Marauder. It's gone down to a 2-point talent. It was a 3-point talent before, but you still get the same benefit as if it was its original 3-point talent. A little sad that they aren't changing it. It's a very boring capstone talent. It doesn't really do a whole lot, even though there's a lot of text there. It does make it a more viable option now. It's still going to be pretty weak. A lot of its power is reliant on how powerful bombs are, so currently bombs are really weak, but if they go up in power level, so does this talent. Like right now, we would really struggle to run this talent, even this new version of it in Season 1 of Dragonflight. But yeah, if the new tier set has anything to do with Wildfire Bomb, or if more changes happen and bombs get buffed, this could be a decent talent. It was really, really stupid to be a 3-point talent, so overall it's good that it's only 2 points now. Also, I haven't tested this one yet, but it has been bugged for a while, and it's been increasing the crit chance by 15% per point for some reason. So I'm not sure if that's also going to get fixed since the talent is getting some attention. I did just test the lunge bug, and the lunge bug is still in the game, so this one is still probably also in the game, which means if it does end up getting fixed, the power level will go down of this already kind of weak talent. It's really awesome that they brought it down to a 2-point node. It was impossible to put 3 points into this before, you just couldn't find the points. And it's a good change. It just doesn't change a whole lot, but it's baby steps in the right direction. Okay, the more interesting change is Lunge. Lunge now has a new effect where each melee attack that you do also reduces the cooldown of Wildfire Bomb by a whole second. That's pretty cool. We had a very similar azerite power in BFA, and it did the same thing, but it was with Mongoose Bite that reduced the bomb cooldown instead of auto attacks. I'm kind of surprised that they've attached this new effect to Lunge. Lunge has been a really solid option throughout Season 1, even though it's been bugged and has been a lot less good than it should have been because of that. Just having that extra melee range on your Mongoose Bite and auto attacks has been super useful. It's just been nice to have that extra, the flexibility. You lose a little bit of DPS, yeah, but it feels so good. And I'm just confused why they've attached this new cool option to an already useful, cool option, jacking out to make an ultimate awesome talent that you just pick all the time, rather than putting it on maybe one of our more useless talent options, or maybe even just swapping it out for one of these useless talents completely, so this is its own separate talent. That would be cool. Instead, they put it on Lunge, which is already a solid option, and I don't know. We have a lot of dead talents. It would be cool to see them get adjusted a bit, and this could have been the perfect way to do that. Either way, if bombs get any kind of attention at all, get a buff or whatever, then Lunge is going to be an instant pick in AoE. Even with bombs how they are now, it's still an instant pick. It's a fun effect. It's got interaction with the Bloodseeker talent. It's really cool, very good. It's on, at least I get to play Lunge all the time now. It should really be baseline, use a spear. It makes sense. Good effect, really cool. Overall, super positive. Both of these super positive changes. I'm just surprised that these are the only changes. I know everybody likes to be dramatic and say, oh, my spec's the worst. It sucks, the talent tree. It needs changes. And genuinely, Survival is really, really bad right now. All the top players who are playing, I would say that all the people who are playing the spec, who are at the top of the spec, none of the top players are actually playing the spec. But everybody who's dedicated, diehard Survival fans, I don't think I've seen a single person who actually likes the talent tree. It's full of talents that are bugged, talents that genuinely don't do anything. Our strongest talents are the ones that just percent damage increases, which is half of the tree. We have too many talents that don't interact with anything. Our choice nodes aren't even remotely choices. There's literally a talent that requires a ranged weapon, so you have to weapon swap to use it. I've done it. It's not that fun. So if it's good, then you have to... it's stupid. I'll stop ranting, but the fact is, I feel like I had more choices with the old talent system with Survival than I do with the new one. I'm not even kidding. I literally... I don't think any other spec has this, where I felt like I had more choices, more different kind of builds I could do, and more things I could change on a boss-to-boss basis, or if I'm doing Dungeons, Mythic Plus, is it light cleave, is it heavy cleave, I'll change to this talent set, change to this talent set. I don't have that. It's gone. I don't even know how. When you go to pick which spec you want to play, here's Survival Hunter. The poster ability is literally from Shadowlands. It's not even our current ability. I just wanted some attention with the spec. It's been thrown together, mismatched, and forgotten about, and it feels like it's still an alpha. How? I don't just. I literally said I'll stop ranting, and I started ranting even more. The changes are awesome, and I over exaggerate a little bit. You can choose which talents you do for. There's a single target build. You got your AoE build. I just mean when you're changing talents after that, it's just, hey, do I want 5% more mongoose bite damage, or do I want 2% overall crit damage? It's not really the same choices as we had before. It's weird, and I don't know. It's just, yeah. I really want the spec to be awesome. I just feel a little bit sad about where it currently is, but who knows where it's going to go. These changes are positive. By the end of expansion, it could be the coolest spec in the game, and just, yeah, I want to go. Goodbye.